Labview NXT Part 2, the touch sensor. Go ahead and open up Labview. Set up the windows the way that you would like. And you can see that I have the wrong function palette. I forgot to target to NXT. Now you can see that my program is ready for the NXT robot and my palette is the correct one. Alright, first I want my robot to drive forward. And then I want it to check, not for time or wait for time, but wait for the touch sensor to be pressed. And after the touch sensor is pressed, I want it to drive in the opposite direction. So let's change it actually to driving backwards because my touch sensor is on the back of my robot. When the touch sensor is touched, then it will drive forward. Then I'm going to have it wait for some time. And then I'm going to have my motors stop so it won't drive anymore. That's pretty much the whole program. We just need to wire things up correctly. So I want the braking to happen after it's waited for the certain amount of time. And I want the driving forward to happen after the touch sensor has been pressed. So I'm trying to use the pink wiring to control the order that the blocks happen. I also need to give the ports that the motors are working on. So my left motor is B, my right motor is C. Make sure that all the bottom motor blocks are given the same motor information, and all the top motor blocks will get the same motor information. What port is your touch sensor on? Mine is on port 1, so I need to give it that information. And I need to also give the time that I want it to wait for it to drive forward before it stops. We can download it and connect to our brick and test out the program. This is an example of a program that does the same thing, except that it uses the NXT native I/O blocks. Output is where you get your motors. Input is for the sensors, and wait is for the time. So this first section of the program, all it does is tell the B and C motors to drive backwards. The loop does the same thing as our touch sensor from before, is it checks the touch sensor to see if it's been pressed, and we wait so that we're not making the computer work too hard. When the touch sensor is pressed, it makes the loop stop. And after the end of the loop, we tell the motors to both drive back, or really drive forward for 2 seconds. So it's your choice which program you like better. Your challenge is to use 2 touch sensors to make a robot that drives between 2 walls.